Today we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to me, the concept of entrepreneurship and building something where there was none before. In recent weeks, I found that quite a number of folks have approached me trying to figure out how and why do I create different enterprises and what's the process. And initially I was perplexed by the question because for me it's almost like walking is just a natural thing, right? But I'm realizing that that's not necessarily the case for everyone, and I want to share as many of the nuggets that have been helpful to me with everyone I know as much as possible, right? So in my case, I think it comes down to the personal story, right? So I'm the first person in my family that was born in the United States, first person to go to the schools that I attended, first person to do many things, and English was my third language, not my first. So I think for me, doing things differently, doing things that are new has been the norm, and I think I've benefited from that. But there are definitely certain key takeaways that anyone can apply in order to, enter new territories and create things that are new, right? Some of the enterprises that I've built over time are everything from a strategic marketing and event company to a solar power product company that I co-founded and ran as CEO. We went from a concept to shipping into more than 70 countries within 2.5 years. I was one of the co-founders, and I'm still a board member of the Council of Earning Professionals, and we're focused on empowering women and minorities to more fully realize their potential, right? Right now, I'm building a company with a good buddy of mine called Realisity. We're infusing more technology into the process. We started that a little more than a year ago, and now we have an amazing team, we have a platform, we've sold properties, and it's clear that there's a real market. So there are definite nuggets that I've benefited from each. And I could sit here and pretend that I made it all up myself, but that would not be factually correct. I've also spent some time at a variety of institutions and as parts of certain communities that have provided many insights as well, right? So everything from my undergraduate degree at Georgetown in business to an MBA at Dartmouth and, again, business school, to being a term member of the Council on Foreign Relations, which allowed me to interact with leaders of industry and really benefit from their experiences, or the World Economic Forum with the Young Global Leader community and other gatherings that they bring together. I've been able to reap quite a bit from all those interactions and benefit from the frameworks. And that's part of what I'd like to share with you, right? So given that when we first start, often the challenge is looking at the enterprise and not knowing where to start and thinking of it as being this really massive task. So I think the first step is breaking it down into various components, right? So it could be something simple. I want to create a pizza restaurant in my neighborhood. So the first step is, what is the vision, right? Where do I want to be in 5 years with this enterprise, and what is the impact that we're going to have? So maybe I want it to be the best pizza restaurant in my neighborhood, generating more revenues than anyone else within a 3-mile radius, and being infused with a culture and energy that really attracts all the types of people that I like to be spending time with, right? So that there is a vision, it's a kind of mission, it's going to energize me, and I think I'll be able to communicate that to others in such a way that they feel my passion, they feel the energy, and it seems viable, right? So that's step one. Have a vision, have a dream, be able to articulate it, and believe it. Then from there, you're going to want to sit down and say, okay, I'm at this point, and I want to get to this point, which I just described. What are the various steps between here and there, right? So take some time. It doesn't need to be a lot of time. It could be 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and map out the various steps, right? I need to find a location, I need to get equipment, I need to do X, Y, Z in order to get there. Break it down. Next step, Now that you know the steps that need to be taken, what are the resources, both human capital, financial capital, whatever else, that are going to allow you to accomplish those steps? Being aware of those next steps and the resources that you're going to need in order to accomplish them is critically important. It seems simple, but many people don't do that, right? And if you don't do that, you can be at risk of making some significant mistakes, right? Because once you know what you need, then do an inventory. Look at yourself, honestly. Stare in the mirror and be honest with yourself. What am I able to do? And what do I need help with? How much capital do I need to accomplish these? How much of it do I already have? Will I need to seek outside investors and capital? On the human capacity front, maybe I'm great at storytelling and I'm not good at operations. So I'm going to look for someone to help me on the operational front. You really want to break down every component and think about it clearly. And that's going to allow you to not get people involved who are going to overlap with the skills you already have. And it's going to allow you to ensure that you're rounding out your resources in order to most readily accomplish your objectives, right? And once you've done that, then it's just a matter of putting one step in front of the other and getting started and moving and understanding that you're absolutely going to make some mistakes, but A, you're going to forgive yourself. B, you'll continue to refine this process, and over time you're going to get better and better, and you're also going to equip yourself with a variety of mentors and people you know who are in that sector who can potentially be helpful to you, right? And once you do that, you'll be on your way to creating something of substance, right? I can give you the example with the enterprise that I'm currently building, Realisity, right? So we started last summer, it's not that long ago. It was the two of us. My business partner has substantial experience in the brokerage side of the real estate market. He worked for a firm, he built his own firm, he managed agents, he understands the intricacies. We got together, as we often do. We've known each other for the last 15 years. And my background is more varied, right? So I understand a thing or two about business and entrepreneurship and enterprise and finance and various things that could potentially complement his skill sets. And so we decided that between the two of us, we have a lot of bases covered. And as of the last year, it's turned out to work out quite well, right? So then from there, we built a strategy as far as what it is we're going to do and how we're going to do it. We then set out to raise some capital because we understood that we're looking to disrupt a global market space, and it's going to take capital the way we want to do it. So we set out to do so, and we were successful at raising some capital. And then we're able to, literally follow our plan, build a platform, hire an amazing team of people who specifically are able to do the types of tasks that we know we need to do that we may not be able to do ourselves. And as we continue to refine that process, right? Take in the inputs, because we're constantly testing. We're going in, we have hypotheses and theories as to what's going to work, but we're not positive. So we're always paying attention. And as we notice different things, we incorporate them into our plan and are readily able to adjust, right? And be agile with the things that we do. Now it's your turn. What are some enterprises that you want to create? What's an idea that you've had for a while, that you've had on the back burner because you thought it was too big of a challenge? I implore you to give it a shot. Apply the simple steps that I've just shared with you and see how it works for you. Feel free to reach out. Let's talk a bit. Let's communicate. Let's figure out how you're thinking about it and how we can optimize and make it better. Right? Because at the end of the day, it's about creating something of substance that you enjoy, that you're passionate about, which is going to create greater sustainability for you and your family and those that you care about. Right? So I'm looking forward to hearing from you with respect to some of the key things that you've been meaning to work on for quite some time, and how some of these frameworks can be helpful to you achieving your objectives. Enjoy.